That is one thing I will say. I mean, when you work in the hunting industry, or as a hunting guide, you don't have much time to hunt for yourself. So if you're looking to become a hunting guide, you got to keep that in mind. I mean, it is fun to get other people there, a big deer or a big stag or whatever you're doing, whatever you're hunting, big elk, whatever. It's fun, um, but you don't have much time for hunt for yourself. Welcome back to the channel. It's been raining a lot here the last couple of weeks, so I haven't been able to do much filming. So when out of college, I went and was a hunting guide for several years. So I was figuring I should tell some hunting stories from when I was a guide. So I come up with a series called Hunting Stories with Ronnie. So whenever I have times where I can't film, don't have anything to film, or wherever I have times when I can't get out and film because of weather or whatever, and I'll just throw a hunting story on. If you hadn't already though, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button and help the channel out if you don't mind. But this first one's just going to be about, and I'll throw some pictures and stuff up, but some that will be probably stories later on. But the first one is just going to be, how did I do it? How did I become a hunting guide? So I went to school out in West Texas, out at Sul Ross State University out in Alpine. I started at a junior college and then transferred out there, and I was taking 20 plus hours a semester to get done. You know, in my senior year, and I was getting close to finishing up. You know, if I took summer classes, I was gonna end up my last semester with just having just 3 hours of to take to be able to graduate. And I knew, because I was taking 20 hours spring and fall, and then I'd take the max, which the max was 6 hours per summer term. And I really didn't, I wouldn't say I really didn't want to take just 3 hours, because yeah, that'd be awesome. But I knew if I just took 3 hours that I probably wouldn't do very good in that class, because going to one class a day and then not having anything really to do the rest of the day would have been, I probably wouldn't have done very well. So I decided, well, I'll go do an internship, or try to do an internship during the summer, and then just come back and take 13 hours and be done. Well, and that's how it started. So the way I did it is I just went and maybe Texas Trophy Hunters and some other things, and I knew some other ranches, and I just typed up a cover letter, a resume, and mailed to every ranch that I could find an address for. And I got a phone call from one up in Michigan. I'm gonna leave the names of the ranches out just because, but there's a couple in Michigan that are pretty well known. So, and I sent to both the two that I knew of at the time up there, saying I was looking for an internship for college, and everything. And I got a phone call back, and at first I was surprised, the person that called me, and I was like, and he said, that he wanted me to come up during the fall and guide. And at first I told him no. I said, well, I really need to focus on getting graduated, and so I was really looking for a internship and then finish up and graduate that fall. Um, and there was no way that I could take all the classes that I needed to take during the summer, or so I thought. But I hung up the phone and I called my mom and told her what I got, and I said, you know, I felt like it was a really good opportunity to be able to do what I wanted to do. I originally wanted to go, I went to college and got my degree in natural resource management with a minor in biology, emphasis in wildlife. With I originally went into that thinking that I was going to be a game warden, but then somewhere along the line, one of my dad's friends lived, just south of where I grew up, started talking about his son-in-law. His daughter went up to Michigan and met this guy, and they ended up getting married. And he was talking about, not always talking about guiding with me and stuff, and or the father was, and I was, kind of got intrigued and kind of started thinking about that, and didn't know how I was going to do it, but this is how I was going to do it, and I sent out the resume. Well, the guy he worked for was at a different ranch, and he actually was the one that called me. And after talking to my mom about it, I was like, well, let me call him back. So I called him back and I said, hey, let me see what I can do. Let me talk to my professors and advisors and see if I can maybe take some extra hours during the summer and get enough and be able to graduate. So I went into the college and sat down with my advisor and talked to her, and she was filling in for my advisor that I had, because he'd went over to his wife was getting her doctorate, and he moved for a year to go so she could finish up at A&M. So I went in and talked to the other advisor for the natural resource management department, and she said, okay, well, let me go talk to the dean and see what we can do. And I told her, I have a job opportunity in the fall. I need to try to do this. Well, she talked to the dean of the agriculture school, and he went to the dean of Sul Ross, and they said, with my GPA and everything, they're like, yeah, we think he can do it. Let's let him try. So I took 10 hours the first summer term, which is 4 hours more than what you could take. I was busy. And then there was another class that they gave me that was going on the same term, but they let me take it in the second summer term. So I ended up graduating that August. I flew up in between the spring and first summer term to Michigan and spent a week out on the ranch with everybody that was there. They were in turkey season, and did a interview and everything, and helped catch some fawns and stuff like that, tag them, and it was pretty neat. And when I got back about a week later, they called and told me they wanted me to come up. So I got it all set up, finished school, graduated, and drove home. I actually put my stuff in storage out there in Alpine, and then I drove home. I think I was home for like a day. Packed up everything, got in the truck, and drove to Michigan, and started getting ready for the season. That first year, I didn't guide that much. Drove the tractor a lot. Got it a couple times, and that was the start of it. And I stayed at that ranch for 2 years, and then I went to another ranch, which actually was the ranch that the ranch manager was the son-in-law of the guy that originally started talking to me about guiding. And then once I got in there, those guys know everybody knows everybody in the hunt industry. So I ended up on my third season. After my third season, I went over to New Zealand for 3 months and guided over there. And then I went back and worked on the same ranch in Iowa, and guided there for another season. Then I went there and worked full time for a year and a half, and then I moved back down to Texas and worked because I just want to be closer to my family, and moved back down here. Went to work on a ranch and a deer breeding facility in Texas, and then went to another ranch a few years later. After I worked at a Pine Lake Management Company for a while, I went to another ranch and was the ranch manager there for I don't know, about a year. And then I moved on from that and decided I didn't want to be I wanted to hunt with my dad and my brother. So when you're working the hunt, that is the one thing I will say. I mean, when you work in the hunting industry, or as a hunt guide, you don't have much time to hunt for yourself. So if you're looking to become a hunting guide, you got to keep that in mind. I mean, it is fun to get other people there, a big deer or a big stag or whatever you're doing, whatever you're hunting, big elk, whatever. It's fun. But you don't have much time for hunt for yourself. I will say this: when I was in Iowa and I was working full time, I was living up there, I did go hunt. It had a place to hunt out there in an Army ammunition plant, and it was awesome. I saw a bunch of big deer in there. I didn't get one. I do what I always do. I was picky. I passed on them, and you had to shoot a doe first. And I did actually see, during muzzleloader season, I did see like 180s and some 200s and I hadn't shot a doe yet. So you just had to let it walk, and it was tough, but that's the way it is. And then bow season, the same thing. I saw some 160s and I saw one 190, and I did have it, but it was just one of those deals, and I'll tell that story later. It was an interesting little hunt. But yeah, if you're looking to get into guiding and that's something you want to do, one, just send out resumes. I mean, they get a lot of them, but send them out. Take a chance. The other thing you can do is go to some of the shows, the Dallas Safari Club, the National Safari Club. At the time, it was in Reno. Now I think it's in Nashville. All the people come. The Dallas Safari Club and the Houston Safari Club and the big Safari Club convention has people from all over the world. And you just go up and talk to them. Sometimes they're looking for people to come and work for them. And once you get your foot in the door, and you make friends with people, other guides that know people, and ranch managers that know other ranch managers all across the world, you can open a lot of doors. So that would be my suggestion. If you want to get into guiding, just one, get out and send as many resumes out as you can. Two, go to those shows and just walk up and start talking to people. It is a really cool profession to be in. Like I said, I just wanted to be able to go hunt with my dad a lot, and I have. So that's why I got out of it. And I know if I was to go back to guiding if I wanted to go back to guiding, which I don't. I'm good where what I'm doing. And make more money doing it than I would be guiding. But I told myself there's only one place I'd go, and it's a place in Iowa. That is one thing about becoming a hunting guide, and you go in and you live with the other guides, and basically they become family. You might not talk to them as much as you talk to family, but I consider all the guys that I guided with, and all the guys, especially the guys in Iowa, they're all brothers. I really enjoyed being around them, hanging out with them, and we had a lot of fun. But look forward to some more videos coming up of, just stories of hunting, guys that I took hunting or whatever. I met a lot of interesting people, met some famous people. But yeah, it was a pretty cool career. Something that my dad said that he would have never done at my age, but it's he's surprised that I actually got out there and did that. But I traveled all over and did it for those years, and I don't regret any of it. I mean, we're going to end it here. We'll hopefully get some more videos. I got a tent that I need to set up. Hopefully I'll be able to do that this weekend, but it all depends on if it rains. Camera battery down. Like I said in the front, if you don't mind, hit the like and subscribe button, and help me grow the channel. And hopefully I'll have some good stories to tell in the future about some hunting trips when I was a hunting guide. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all next time.